carefully maintaining a network of shared stories that kept everyone aligned against the one person who could disrupt the arrangement, and now that person was me. They hinted that I was selfish. They suggested that I was emotionally unstable. They warned me that people would start asking questions about why I had suddenly abandoned a grieving family. And for a brief moment, fear tried to settle back into my body, the old fear of being judged, of being misunderstood, of being seen as the problem when I was only trying to survive. But that fear did not last long, because I had already spent years carrying responsibilities that were never mine, and I was no longer willing to let their comfort be built on my exhaustion. Instead of arguing, I started documenting every message, every voicemail, every time they mentioned money and linked it to emotional pressure, every contradiction between what they told me and what they told others. I spoke to a lawyer, not because I wanted revenge, but because I wanted clarity, and clarity has a way of replacing panic with focus. And in those conversations, I learned that deception does not become harmless just because it is wrapped in family language, that repeated financial pressure can have serious consequences when exposed for what it truly is. Meanwhile, the woman with the child reached out again, frightened, because now the pressure had shifted to her, and she was being told that everything was her fault, that she had ruined arrangements that kept everyone comfortable, that she should have remained grateful and quiet. And hearing that, I recognized the same script being used on both of us, the same emotional strategy applied wherever resistance appeared. So we began talking more openly, sharing messages, comparing timelines, not to build a case, but to understand the full shape of what had been happening behind closed doors for years. And slowly, piece by piece, we realized that what we had thought were isolated decisions were actually part of a long pattern of control that neither of us had created, but both of us had been trapped inside. That was when I understood something important about my husband, too. Not that he was innocent, because he wasn't, but that he had been raised in an environment where avoidance was safer than responsibility,